Something strange happened on Raw that has the entire WWE Universe buzzing. A simple backstage moment with Logan Paul suddenly transformed into a full-blown mystery when the digital screens behind him glitched out and started scrambling letters in real time. At first, it seemed like a production error, but eagle-eye fans slowed the footage down, analyzed frame by frame, and then it happened. The letters briefly formed the word Alexa. Not once, not as a fluke, but clearly enough to spark speculation. Was this just a coincidence, or the beginning of something much bigger? This wasn't just a minor glitch. Fans are now treating it like a clue, like a coded message waiting to be decoded. Some dismissed it, others became obsessed, digging deep and looking for patterns. And sure enough, screenshots of the moment began circulating online, with the name Alexa staring back from the chaos of letters. Now here's where things get even more bizarre. Alexa Bliss hasn't been seen on WWE programming for quite a while. She's been away from the spotlight, off the grid, but those who followed her career know that her story with the Wyatt family runs deep. So when her name showed up during a glitch like this on Raw of all places, it didn't feel accidental. This leads to the next big question: why Raw? Alexa Bliss is a SmackDown superstar. The Wyatt Six, who many fans also think this teaser might be referencing, were also heavily associated with SmackDown before their disappearance. So why would a return teaser like this show up on Raw? Could this mean they've switched brands again? Or is it something more subtle, like WWE using all its platforms to slowly build suspense just like they did during the original Wyatt Six build-up back in 2024? That time, teasers aired across Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT, slowly coming together like puzzle pieces. If we assume this is indeed a teaser for Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Six, then this might be the start of a cross-brand return arc, something WWE has done before and something that builds anticipation in a unique way. We already know that the Wyatt Six were originally positioned to go up against the Judgment Day. That was a story that was left unresolved. Could this new Raw teaser be a signal that the story is finally picking back up again? Back when the Wyatt Six were active, their motivation was chilling and clear. They didn't just attack randomly. They targeted people who had wronged their own families, people who broke trust and loyalty. That's what made their appearances so intense. Chad Gable, Karrion Kross, The Miz, they were all chosen for a reason. Even The Miz's past association with Bo Dallas became relevant. Every move was connected to something deeper, more personal. And that's where Seth Rollins might now come into the picture. Recently, Rollins viciously attacked Sami Zayn on Raw. Not just any opponent, Sami was his friend. A friend he turned on in brutal fashion. It was betrayal, plain and simple. And that kind of betrayal is exactly the kind of behavior the Wyatt Six targeted in the past. If they're watching, then Rollins could easily become a prime target. Plus, there's long-standing history between Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. Their previous matches weren't just intense, they were deeply psychological. Those roots could easily be pulled back into today's storyline if the Wyatt Six are truly returning. But here's the thing, would it even be smart for WWE to mix Rollins' new faction with the returning Wyatt Six right now? Rollins' group is still forming, still finding its identity. And the Wyatts? They've been away from TV for a long time. Throwing them into a collision course this early might damage both storylines. No one can afford a loss right now. Maybe it's better for WWE to let each group build on its own, and cross paths only when the moment is absolutely perfect. Still, the tease is out there. The glitch happened. The name appeared. Alexa Bliss is on people's minds again. If this really is the start of her return, then fans are hoping WWE goes all in. They're hoping for something theatrical, cinematic, like the masterful rollout the Wyatt Six received during their 2024 debut. That return was full of mystery, horror aesthetics, and shocking moments. It set a new bar. So if Alexa Bliss is about to come back and take a leadership role within the Wyatt Six, fans want the reveal to be just as powerful, just as unforgettable. There's talk that Alexa could be positioned as the new leader of the group, stepping into a role left behind after Bray Wyatt's legacy. And if that's true, then it would make sense for her to return in dramatic fashion. Fans are even speculating that her reappearance will be the final piece in another round of cinematic vignettes that reintroduce each member of the Wyatt Six one by one. If that's the route WWE is taking, then we're only at the very beginning. Meanwhile, over on the injury front, Rey Mysterio recently gave an update on why he was forced to miss WrestleMania 41. Just one night before the event, Rey suffered a torn adductor. That's not a minor injury, it's a serious muscle tear that requires surgery. He's already undergone the procedure and is now on the path to recovery. Doctors estimate that his recovery window could be anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months. That puts his return somewhere in midsummer, assuming everything goes smoothly. For a legend like Rey Mysterio, Missing a WrestleMania is painful. He's been a symbol of resilience for decades, and every setback only adds to his legacy. Fans are hoping to see him return not just in good health, but possibly with a new storyline to fuel his next chapter. There's talk that WWE might use his return to put over younger stars, or possibly dive back into family storylines with Dominic Mysterio. Either way, Rey remains one of the most respected figures in WWE, and his return will definitely be a moment to watch. Then we have Sami Zayn, a man currently caught in a whirlwind of disappointment, pressure, and unanswered questions. On the Raw after WrestleMania, he returned to congratulate Jay Uso on winning the World Heavyweight Championship, but the camera angles told a different story. As Jay celebrated, the camera lingered on Sami's expression, something between forced support and inner frustration. Some fans believed he was going to snap, that we'd see a heel turn right there, but he didn't. He kept his composure. The following week, Seth Rollins made Sami an offer that shocked fans. Rollins told him to take the easy road, accept a spot on SmackDown and get a title shot. Sami admitted the offer was tempting. After all, becoming a world champion is still one of his goals. But instead of accepting, Sami rejected the offer and said he wanted to do it the right way, the honorable way. That moment showed integrity. But unfortunately, integrity hasn't gotten Sami very far lately. That same night, he was beaten down in the ring again. This isn't new for Sami. He's been on the receiving end of brutal attacks multiple times over the past year. After every return, he tries to stay positive, tries to do the right thing, but it always ends the same, flat on the mat, disappearing from TV for weeks at a time. Even Karrion Kross warned him. Kross told him to take the offer, to stop trying to be the hero, but Sami didn't listen. So now the question is, how long until Sami cracks? He has a history of turning heel when things don't go his way. This isn't a permanent babyface we're talking about. This is a character who's walked the dark path before and who might be on the verge of doing it again. And let's not forget the seed that was planted when he watched Jay Uso raise that title. Deep down, there has to be some resentment. After all, Sami beat Gunther at WrestleMania a year before Jay did. He accomplished something incredible, and yet it's Jay who now holds the championship. All these emotions, all these setbacks, they're building up inside of Sami Zayn. And at some point, something is going to give. A betrayal, a shocking moment, a challenge to someone he once called a friend. If that happens, the storyline practically writes itself. Sami Zayn vs. Jay Uso for the World Heavyweight title. It has emotional weight, history, and the kind of drama that WWE thrives on. Sami may say he wants to be the good guy, but being good hasn't brought him success. No world title, no redemption, just more pain. So maybe he starts to believe that being the nice guy doesn't work. Maybe he decides it's time to go back to what worked in the past. Maybe the only way forward for Sami Zayn is to walk back into the darkness. With Alexa Bliss potentially leading a reborn Wyatt 6, Rey Mysterio on the path to recovery, and Sami Zayn teetering on the edge of a heel turn, the WWE Universe is filled with uncertainty. One thing's for sure, the next few months are going to be unpredictable, emotional, and potentially explosive. Fans will need to keep their eyes on every segment, every glitch, every subtle camera shot, because the storm is coming. What do you think is going on behind the scenes? Is Alexa really returning as the new Wyatt leader? Will Sami finally lose himself to bitterness? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on, and hit that like button if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.